Hey, in this video I'm gonna show you a more convenient way to start building your Vue project with MDB 5. So last video we've seen how to start using MDB with use of a zip file. So basically the easiest option, but not necessarily the most convenient, and today I want to show you a better way how to start using MDB 5 Vue. So without further ado, let's get started. In order to initialize the project, we're going to use the MDB GO CLI. So this is a free tool from MDB. In order to start using this, we need to do two things first. We need to have Node installed. So navigate to node.js.org, download the latest version, and simply install it. So click and download, save, and then install it. I already have it, so I'm not going to do it now. But what it does, it allows you to use npm. So after installation, you should be able to run npm-v, and it should show you some version of npm. Now, once you have it, what you have to do is simply navigate to mdbgo.com and copy this link, or you don't even have to go to mdbgo.com. You can just type. It's as simple as npm install -g mdb-cli. If you click on it, it's gonna copy this, so you don't need to type it. So simply run this command and it's gonna install the latest version of MDB CLI. And now once it's done, there is just one step ahead. So what we have to do, we need to have an MDB account. So if you have either mdbootstrap.com account already or MDB Go, you are fine to go. So I already have mine here and at mdbootstrap.com. If you don't have, simply create one. So you can do it either from web browser. So simply go here and then register. Or you can do it from a command line. So type mdb register, and it's gonna ask you a few questions, and it's gonna create your free account. I already have mine, so let's log in. MDB login, and I'm gonna use my username and password. And now I'm logged in. What I can do now, I can do MDB init, and this allows me to initialize a different project. So as you can see, we have different starters here, like backend starters, front-end WordPress. What I'm particularly looking for is MDB 5 Vue version. So I'm gonna just hit enter, and that's gonna initialize the project. The project is here in the folder. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open this in Visual Studio Code. So let's open it up. And now I'm gonna open another command line over here. I was using Windows command line. Here you can use obviously any terminal you want. If you are using Mac, that's gonna be terminal. If you are using Unix, that's probably gonna be something else. So simply make sure that you're using one of this console, which are listed over here, just to make sure that it will work fine. So I'm moving to this command line here. First thing to do, npm install. That's gonna install all the dependencies. And in the meantime, I'm gonna jump into docs for a Vue version. So heading back to the main page, choosing Vue, get started, and let's start with Navbar. So we're gonna build a simple page. So here it is. This is source code. You have different examples over here, different customization options. I strongly encourage you to go through all of them, but we're gonna start with the basic example. So let's copy this one, or actually, you know what? Let's do it like this. We have our source code over here. Let's see how it looks now. So npm start, that's gonna start our server, that's gonna compile our bundles, and once it's done, it's gonna start our server, so we will be able to see what's going on the local host. So let's open it up. This is how it looks now. Now what we have here is we have this app view. We have a home, so this is basically our main component over here, and we have some components over there. So we have this hello world. Let's do one thing. Let's replace this hello world with the code we just copied. So this is the HTML part, template part, now scripts part. So let's paste it on the bottom. Okay, let's rename it to Navbar, or let's call it header of our page. Now at the home, we want to use header. Okay, we need to update this one to header, and header is defined but never used. We need to also update this name, and now we should see our header over here, right? Yeah, it's working fine. Now let's do a small adjustment. So what I want to do, I don't want this header or navbar to be full-sized over here. So what I will do, I'm gonna add this. I'm gonna get rid of fluid option. So if we go to our header over here, we have this container, and we're gonna set this to MD. So what it does, if you are familiar with Bootstrap, it's gonna basically add these margins over here. So container fluid is giving us the full width, and container is giving us just these margins over here on the left and on the right. Okay, now what we want to do is also we want to change color of this. So let's check docs for colors. So here are the colors, and you can use predefined colors, for example, like warning. Obviously, you can customize them, so you can create a different version of your color scheme. I'm gonna stick to the default one. So, for example, if we set it to warning, then our navbar will get this orange color. I want to change it to white, and this will look great. Okay, now once we have this navbar, let's create a main part of our page. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna simply copy and paste it. So just duplicate this one, and yeah, let's remove this one. Let's remove scripts. Now let's rename it to main, and let's add it to our home view. So what we need here, we're gonna change it to main and add main over here. We're gonna get error that it's not used, so let's use it now. Okay, and now let's start building something interesting here. Oh, we have two navbars. Hold on, that's probably, I didn't save it. Header, main, template, script, main, and oh, it's main because I'm importing this from header, so make sure you don't mess up like I just did. So main. Okay, now let's move to main part, and let's build our grid. So if you want to learn more about grid, check our other videos on our channel when we have dedicated courses on Bootstrap Grid. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start with this div main, and inside it I want to use MDB container, and let's quickly jump into grid docs. So here we have some examples of how we can use Bootstrap Grid. Let's, for example, use this one. This is the very basic example you can use: container, row, and calls. So this will automatically set it to 3. I want to use that one. I want to have 2 columns, and I want to have this one to have size 5 and 7, 5 and 7. Now we need to also import this components like MDB call, row, and container. Okay, and let's see how it works. So we have this 5 and 7. What it does, it makes our page responsive. So if we change the size, you can see already that Navbar has changed, so it's responsive. That's how it looks like on some smaller screens. And then if we continue shrinking, we have this one below the other, which is cool because then we have sufficient space to display all we want to show to our users. Okay, now let's add some content into 5 and 7. So let's go to hover effects, and I'm gonna use this example. See, so when we hover over this image, we're getting this nice effect. So let's copy this one. Actually, we don't need entire template. I'm just gonna get the HTML part and let's put it here. Okay, so we have our image. We are missing some spacing here. Don't worry, we're gonna work on that a little bit later. Now let's go to the second column and let's add h1 and say it's like heading of the page. Now let's add some paragraph. Let's see if that's gonna work. Lorem 30. Yeah, I've got 30 lorem words. Let's duplicate this one. Let's add a line in between. So I want to have HR here. And yeah, that looks cool. Now let's talk about spacing. So how to make this looking better. So if we go to spacing utilities, you're gonna find the Bootstrap spacing options here. So basically Bootstrap allows us to easily add margins and paddings with the simple use of these classes. So we have margin, heading, and then we have direction, top, bottom, start, end. So basically right and left, depending on whether we are in the right to left system or left to right. So for the Arabic countries, we have an X for the X-axis and the Y for the Y-axis. So let's start with, for example, our main. I'm gonna add, actually, you know, this was supposed to be main. And this was supposed to be just a class. So let's add a class like my5 and see what's gonna happen. So now we've got this nice margin from the top and from the bottom. Obviously we can see this one from the bottom. Once we're gonna add our footer to the page, which we're gonna do in a few seconds, we will also see this nice spacing. Now let's add some spacing here in between those elements. So for our heading one, where it is, main heading 1 class, I'm gonna add some margin bottom, let's say 4. Let's see how it works. Yeah, now we got the spacing here. Now let's add spacing to this line from the top and the bottom. So I'm gonna add my, so the y-axis, let's say 3. 3 is not enough, I guess 4. Yeah, so now we have the spacing from both top and the bottom. Okay, let's continue building. Let's add some buttons now. So again, we're gonna use predefined buttons. So I want to use this MDB button and we need to import it. So let's add it here. MDB button. Let's import buttons. We have this import MDB button from here. Now I don't need this, and export MDB button, and now I don't need it, so I can use it. Yeah, now it's working fine. Let's add another button. So for example, how about outline? Let's go for outline. Okay. Now again, we will need some spacing over here, so let's do it right away. So class E3, so end, margin end 3. Now it is here. As you can see, we can change colors, so you already know how to do it. You can go to the list of the colors and use predefined ones. Now let's talk about icons. This is also really cool. So you have a list of you have 1500 icons available. You can search for different icons. When you click on it, you got the code over here. So simply just copy this one and let's use it over here. And let's also use this import statement. So MDB icon. So let's add it to our main part and to the components. And let's check results. So the icon is over here. Obviously, it would be nice to have some class ME3, for example. So it might be too much. 2. So this will give us some brief over here. Yeah. So now it looks cool. Obviously, we should say something like buy now. Yeah. Let's continue. Let's add another row here. So let's add MDB row. Okay, now let's go to cards. So we have cards over here, and again, plenty of examples. So just browse through all of them because you have like horizontal cards, stacked cards, card layouts, and so on. I'm just gonna go with pretty simple examples. So let's have this one, MDB card. Okay, so what I want to have here, I want to have MDB column, and I want to have the size to be MD4, and I will tell you why in a second. So I want to have 3 columns next to each other, and as you might know, these columns are summing up always to 12, right? So 12 divided by 3, that gives us 4. And now let's paste this card over here. So by the way, I'm just doing multi-cursor now. So I just clicked with pressing Alt in 2 or 3 places, and now I can type in few places at the same time, or pasting. So what I just did. Let's copy this one. So we need these 3 options. Let's add it here. Probably some of them will be duplicated already, right? Button is already here, so I'm gonna remove it. Now let's use components. Again, button is already here, so I'm gonna remove it, and directive. So let's see. Yeah, it's working fine. We have this ripple effect here, by the way. So let's talk about it for a second. So this ripple effect allows us this nice click over any element. Actually, we are using this all over the image, but you can also see it on different components like buttons. So this is very specific for material design. Let's jump to ripple for a second. So you would see that you can also customize this. You can also customize, for example, colors, right? Simply change the color, primary, secondary, right? So let's have a look here. Card color light. Let's do primary. So as you can see, this is light and this is primary. Okay, let's get back to light. Let me quickly change pictures here. Now it looks better. Obviously we need some spacing over here, so let's again add to our row, our first row, MDB row class margin bottom 5 class equals margin bottom 5. Now it should be fine. Okay, so this is ready. Let's add now footer. So again, navigate to footer. By the way, you can browse different components from the menu on the left, or you can just simply use this search to search for specific elements you are interested. So again, I'm gonna do my header. Let's copy, let's paste. So I'm gonna duplicate this one, rename footer. Now let's replace this template part, copy for the footer. I'll copy again, paste, and script part, copy, paste. Now go to main, no, to home, duplicate this one, change both to footer, again multi-cursor, and let's add footer here, and finally let's add footer here, and voila, our footer is over here. So our page is almost ready. Just last small change to it. Let's add some, let's change the background color here. So let's go to public index, and to the body I'm gonna add class equals to BG light, which gonna give us some more contrast between the elements, right? So these elements are now more visible. Okay, that's it. I mean, we've built this with what, 10 minutes, and now here comes the best part. So once we have your project ready, what you have to do, the only thing you have to do to publish this page to the web, you have to simply type MDB publish. It's going to ask you whether you want to use npm or yarn, so choose whatever you want and hit enter. Now MDB GO CLI is going to build the project, so it's building the output. Then it's going to upload it to our servers. As you can see, it's happening right now, and with the matter of few seconds, our page is available on the web. It's secured with SSL, and now everyone can access the page. So yeah, that's it, as simple as that. If you navigate to mdbgo.com, you're gonna see the dashboard here, and once you go there, you're gonna see your projects, databases. By the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned that you can have databases for your project, so you can also build the backend part. You can create a repository, so you can, it's gonna be you're gonna keep track of your project, so you're not gonna lose any changes in case you miss something. You can also collaborate with others, so you can give access to your project to your friends. You can set up your custom domain, so if you have like mydomain.com, you can just set it up and it will be available at this domain for you. What else? As I said, the project is secured with SSL, so you don't need to worry about the security. And obviously, as I mentioned, it's 100% free. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're gonna give it a try into MDB GO. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. And thank you for watching this, and keep coding.